Okay, here we go.
Blast off.
Hello and welcome. I'm Glimo. I'm the Keeper of the Chronicles for this Call of Cthulhu massive Nyarlathotep campaign on Roll20, streaming to Twitch and YouTube.
Your
Welcome to
doorstep.
session 41, what I expect will be the finale to this campaign. Also, happy Roll20 Con, everybody. We are hosted on Roll20, and we do have some access to some of the cool Roll20 con extra minis and stuff. So those might come up during the campaign tonight. So last session you went to Grey Dragon Island. You got jumped by giant sand crabs. You made it to the top of the volcano unseen and performed the ritual to create the new Eye of Light and Darkness. We then had an investigative development phase. Bill, we still need to do that for you if you want to knock that out quick right now.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Just a reminder how this works. Everything that you have passed before now, every skill that you've passed, you should have a checkbox next to. You want to roll that, and you want to fail. It's the one time you want to fail on Call of Cthulhu. If you fail, then you get to take 1d10 extra points in that skill. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and roll those. Of course, you're getting your hard success out now. You won't need dodge in the last fight. Or firearms. Well, your cult will go up.
That's so
That's
Alistair.
that's thematic, given that you just did this massive ritual spell.
I sense there could
But
be some occult going on here. There you go.
All right, so that's all of my checks.
all right, so you'll
uh,
need 40 tens. You get all those down on your sheet? Okay, I'll also let you make a sanity recovery if you would like. Roll sanity, and if you succeed, then you'll get a d10 of sanity back. Okay, you can take roll a d10 and you can get that many sanity points back. Two sanity, big winner. And you get 10 points of luck back. Um, you may notice that you have less power than you did the last time that you were with us, Bill. Alistair, like everyone else, lost 13 points of power for participating in the ritual. Okay, so it is around 6 p.m. on Sunday, January 1st, 1926. You are on top of a volcano on Grey Dragon Island. You've got two choices. You can futz about on the island now, or we can time skip to January 14th, the day of the eclipse, or any time in between. What's your poison?
Does anybody really have anything they want to do?
No.
Can't think of anything. Eclipse.
Okay. So I will say then we skip ahead. You make it back to the mainland. Since we're going to be doing a time skip, there's enough time that all of you should. All of you will be at full health. So any of you who were wounded, you can take your character sheet back to full health.
All right. Let's do a montage to Tim Curry.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a lot of hit points.
So in your montaging, Jack Brady and Chu Min tell you that after your first success, they are going to reenact a similar plan, except with more people, for taking on the island during the ritual. They are not sure what time things are going to get started, so their plan is to leave under the cover of darkness on the 13th and hopefully not run into too many people along the way to the island. The captain is now familiar with the navigation and the currents and shoals, and so he thinks he can sneak in under the cover of darkness without too much of a problem. Chu Min is going to lead a commando team. Jack Brady is going to lead a commando team. And then the 5 of you will be a commando team of yourselves, with a couple with two members of Firm Action joining you as red shirts. I mean, as a muscle for you, should you need any help and run into any trouble along the way. And no one really knows what you're going to run into. It becomes pretty clear that a large number of ships depart for Grey Dragon Island or depart and not along a normal shipping line, according to your friend that you bribed in the harbor master's office. So you get the feeling there's going to be a lot of people on this tiny little island. You don't really know what to expect, other than there's going to be some sort of ritual, and you're pretty sure that Aubrey Penhew has some sort of rocket secreted somewhere on the island. So the plan is get in there, cause as much mayhem as possible, attempt to find and destroy the rocket at the very least, and thank you, missing.
Wait a second. So rocket, an island in Asia. This is you only live twice.
Does that mean we get the little mini helicopter?
Could have tried to make one.
Damn, I wish I thought of that earlier.
Yeah.
Got the grappling hook.
Yeah.
Grapple gun.
You know,
That means if you see a guy with a cat, kill him.
Jack Brady tells you that, you know, he feels like he won't be safe as long as Sir Aubrey is still alive. So his plan is if he runs into Aubrey, shoot him, and recommends that you do the same.
I think that's solid advice.
Other than that, don't really know what you're going to run into on the island. Hope it's just giant mutated sand crabs, but probably you won't be that lucky. And do what you can do and hope for the best.
I thought Penhew got murdered by that giant demon that got summoned in the ceremony.
Which ceremony and what demon?
Well, didn't we go to his like private home and there was a ceremony that was going on and the giant demon showed up?
No,
and murdered him?
you have not been to Aubrey Penhew's home. So Aubrey Penhew is one of the original members of the Carlisle expedition. And...
Right, that was the head of the Penhew Foundation.
Oh
in-
yes.
Gavigan.
Yes, Edward Gavigan was the
Because
one
we have seen a dude get eaten.
Okay.
that your friend, our dear friend Jack, attempted to shoot him, and then I don't know, something happened, and he ended up, you know, full of stab wounds. Yes, he's the one who took over Sir Aubrey's. Edward Gavigan was the one who took over Sir Aubrey's foundation after Aubrey was declared dead.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so let me get the Roll20 board back up. So, can't move the mouse on the OBS screen, dummy. Okay. All right, so Moo isn't here anymore. Moo's Acolyte isn't here anymore. All right, so...
I feel like I need a Braveheart style speech.
So, you have these two dudes hanging out with you, and... where are you planning to put in? Brady is suggesting that the three forces should split up and land on various parts of the island so that hopefully at least one of you will be able to make it, as opposed to having all the forces together. So
This is like Cthulhu D-Day.
it is like Cthulhu D-Day.
Which two are they planning to take? I see
They are giving you the option as to which point you would like to land on. You can
US
land
crabs.
on the northern beach where you landed with the, you know, and then try to take the circuitous overland route. You can land over here where the village was, or you can land over here, kind of, and just kind of try to put in as close to the side of the volcano as possible. It's going to be fairly rocky. There's no real good place to put in, and it's going to be a big climb up. Jumin thinks that that he and his men are the best trained to do that, but he's willing to allow you first draw, and you can choose where you'd like to put in.
I don't know about you guys, but I think where we had landed before, the North Beach, is probably our best bet.
I mean, it all sounds equally bad.
I'm with that opinion.
Yeah, well, it is all bad, but
Yeah. I mean, I got the special Batman grappling gun. If we need to make climbs, so hopefully that will help. But I don't know. So we'll want to roll 1d3, or do we just go where we were before? The village is kind of intriguing, I guess, but that also sounds like stuff can be hiding there.
yeah, I'd rather just deal with try to avoid the crabs. Just move on through, use the North. At least we've been there before. We know the area a little bit.
That's also where the crabs were.
Yeah, I don't mind the crabs. We can avoid the crabs.
North Beach.
Going once. Isn't aren't one of you supposed to have been like in a war? I think it's like
A
Martin,
couple
right?
of us. I've been there.
Yeah,
too.
Martin and Seamus were both in the Great War.
Is there there's no like strategy or tactics skill, is there?
There is not.
All right, let's roll the dice or whatever.
I think the North Beach would be good because at least you've been there before, so you have some idea of what there is.
Make a straight intelligence or a luck roll, probably, if you want it.
Idea?
Here's the pros and cons of the options. Landing here is going to be the most treacherous route, which is why Chu Min says his men are trained for this. And it will be very difficult climbing rolls for your team to just basically scale the side directly up the side of the volcano, and also landing with no beach. I'm basically landing on sheer cliffs and then scaling up. The way that you went before, you know your way. You know that you're probably not going to run into any resistance other than maybe some crabs.
The beach.
Whereas the other way, you know that there's a village there, and you expect that it's populated by Deep One hybrids. And
That's good.
Yeah. So that's, but it is a more direct route up to that other path that you found that leads into what you expect is the ritualistic part of the volcano.
Well, being an older gentleman, I'm choosing to pick the easier route, but those sand crabs are a definite deterrent if they are still around.
Okay.
All right, we'll take the route with the most number of like wheelchair and or access ramps.
Okay. So I'm
going to change out the tennis balls on my walker so I can get more grip.
We have a plan.
So you're landing on the north side, and
All right.
okay, very good.
The crabs have anti-tennis ball attachments.
You land on the north side of the beach. You manage to avoid the sand crabs, now knowing that they like to hang out here. Brady is going to lead the assault through the village, and Chumin and his team are going to land on the side of the volcano. Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. So you manage to avoid the crabs, and Seamus, give me a luck roll. Let's see if you can manage to not get spotted as you climb up the side of the hard success. Okay, yes, you. So you make it up to where you created the Eye of Light and Darkness, and then you find the path that leads down into the volcano. There is a trail that is decorated at the front at this kind of like cave-like entrance. It has been decorated with the Order of the Bloated Woman's characters, as well as dripping fangs, clutching tentacles, and other symbols which gladden the insane heart.
Volcano, check. Yeah, definitely. See, bald guy with a cat, guys, to shoot, to kill on sight.
So, it by the time you make it there, it is about 3 a.m. Do you plan to just press in, or are you going to camp? What is your plan?
What was the plan of the other two? Or were they planning to push on through, or were they going to try to
They
time
both
it?
had longer longer and harder journeys to you, and they were dropping you off first. So they probably weren't going to make it as far as the volcano before morning.
Are we synchronizing this type of thing or
I think-
anything?
I think so. I like that idea.
They did not synchronize attack with you because they didn't know what opposition they were going to run into.
Damn it.
Or when if and when they'd be able to meet up with you. The plan was just every commando team for themselves has their own orders to just get in, cause as much mayhem as possible, and then you know that the ritual is likely to culminate during the solar eclipse, which is going to happen at 1 p.m. local time.
So, like,
Can we
Yes.
see Brady's group on this? Like, are they past us or below us on the mountain?
You can't see them from where you are. You don't know if they've run into resistance in the village, or if it's just taking longer. You don't, they're not there, and you don't know why.
But we're at the fork where the two paths meet. Is that right?
You guys are right. Let me move Alistair's character to like where you are. You guys are like right here.
So we're past that. I say we at least take a short break to catch our breath, get some water in us, some food in us. Since we just did this long haul, we want to be fresh when we go in there.
So well, okay. I was planning that you guys were here. Like, see, like you can see this little path, like right in here.
Oh, if we're right there.
But if you want to tell me to retcon that and say no, you stopped here, then that's fine.
Yeah, I think we should. We've got like 10 hours until this thing goes down. We should probably get a rest, and also that'll give us some time to see if Brady's.
You know that's when the ritual starts. You don't know what's going to be happening before then.
Yeah, we don't want to take too much time, guys. I think just enough time to, catch our breath, get some food in us, maybe just get a little bit of rest, like for 2 hours, and go in.
You know that the sun is going to come up at I have it written down here. The sun is going to rise at 6:06. So a little after 6 a.m. The sun is going to rise. It's 3 a.m. now.
And what time it is? Oh, 3 a.m. right now?
Yes.
What do you guys want to do?
I think the light will aid us. I think the darkness is going to definitely give the enemy something to exploit and hide in. I think a nice 3-hour rest as we move in the light will help us.
Now remember, in the light, they'll be able to see us too.
Yeah, but we'll be able to see the trail.
Yeah, but they'll be able to see anyone coming up the trail. I'm just pointing this out, and I'm not trying to be, just being a devil's advocate mainly.
Are we gonna have to make a tracking roll or something if we go in the dark?
I'm gonna say that you've been up here before, and you guys can still see the glow of the Eye of Light and Darkness. So I'm gonna say that you'll be able to make it up to the top of the volcano without an issue.
And how long is it gonna take to get to the top?
It's about half an hour from where the two trails come together.
So why don't we wait about an hour and a half or something?
If you're stopping here,
cover of darkness.
If you're stopping here, then it's about half an hour to make it to the summit.
All right. So we just take a short hour break?
That's what I'm thinking. And then we have give ourselves about an hour and a half to get to the summit with kind of a twilight, early morning light glow.
All right.
Okay. Are you waiting to see if Brady shows up, or are you just going at 4 o'clock no matter what?
I think 4 o'clock no matter what. We're not sure if he will even make it. He didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, we're less than an hour into this. It's supposed to be like 4 hours long. We're probably going to hit encounter some serious problem and have to retreat, right? We have 3 more hours of game to go.
I don't think there's going to be any retreat this time too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to take an hour break, just catch our wind, get some water on us, some food in us, and then keep on going.
Okay. All right. So you make it up to the summit where I was telling you that you see this cave entrance with all the crazy stuff on it, and it's about 4:30. It is still 90 minutes before the sun's coming up.
Well, we might as well go in. Any sign of the others?
No sign.
All right. Though we haven't heard anything either, have we?
Not from where you are, no.
There's been no gunfire or anything like that, so that could be a good sign.
You know, you're far enough away that you might not hear anything if something was going wrong.
Well,
That's just great.
we would have seen muzzle flashes, right? Like if they were on our side of the mountain.
Depending on, if they were out in the open or not.
Are there any cultists or hybrids or eldritch horrors in or around the cave?
You don't see any right now, no.
You should send forth the red shirts to something happen.
No, we need them to tank later on.
Okay, are you...
Keep going.
You're heading it. Okay, so...
Yep.
Once you get a little ways into the cave, it ends fairly quickly, and there is a set of stairs leading down, and you can tell that that the stairs don't go straight down. They curve as they start going down.
Is it getting hotter?
Well, you haven't started going down the stairs yet, but the cave is not that warm right now. It's a little bit warmer than outside, but you're not sure if that's just, being out of the directly exposed elements.
Okay.
Is this an active volcano?
Not as far as I know.
You don't know. Very few maps even have this island marked properly. The best guess that Captain Azoj gave you was that he thought it was a dormant volcano, but you have no idea.
Hey, could we use a nature world roll to see if we have any clue?
Sure.
Just because I'm... No idea.
Yeah, you don't know.
All right.
Alistair, from where you are, you're not sure, but if you get a little bit deeper into this thing, you might know. But from where you are at the top of this cave, you haven't seen enough to give you any idea. Although you'd guess that who would be crazy enough to build a set of stairs into going down into a volcano if it was active.
Yeah, well, these guys have zero sanity, right?
Exactly.
Cast
I
into the
think
fire
we'll
of
be
Mount
okay.
Doom.
You do know, Alistair, that even an inactive, volcano may still have areas within it where there's still magma.
Liquid hot magma.
Liquid hot magma.
You can have a magma bath.
Oh, that'll happen soon enough.
Acclaimed physicist Alan Parsons built this.
Are we going down the stairs?
I think that's
Our
about
stairs
the only way.
there. The stairs aren't there for no reason.
Where do the stairs go?
I
down.
think we're best to go down the stairs.
Gonna push the button.
Okay,
Can I make a listen roll before we go?
you can.
Put it another way, are we really not going to go if you hear something?
Um, so you don't hear anything that sounds like man-made or anything like that as you start, you hear um kind of the echoes of the cave and possibly some water or air movement, but you don't hear any people or things.
All right.
Okay, who's going first down the stairs?
I don't want to
Ah,
go.
damn.
I guess I'll be willing to go first if no one else is.
Okay.
We should put one of the red shirts in front and one of the red shirts in back.
Not a bad idea.
Okay. So over on the right side of this map is a blow up of what you're going to be seeing as you go into this cave, and I'm probably gonna have to scale your minis down.
On the right side of this map. Ah, okay. Thank you.
Cool.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so you start going down these stairs. Every so often, there is a gout of noxious, sulfurous gas that comes up, and Alistair, at that point, you're like, there's at least going to be a magma vent down here somewhere. I don't think the whole volcano is ready to erupt, but there's definitely at least liquid hot magma down here somewhere.
Yeah.
So
It is a volcano after all.
Of all the things we didn't think to invent was flame retardant clothing.
this is true.
The magma armor.
So there, as you the stairway goes down for a good 200 feet. The passageway as you go down is decorated with the incised outlines of gigantic, misshapen, octopus-like creatures, hideous fish-like humanoids armed with tridents, and vile, bubbling blobs covered with flailing appendages.
I think I'm now permanently off of fish.
Fish, 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 fish.
You get down to the bottom here, and this chamber, you enter into a very. So at this point, actually, as you've been coming down the stairs, it's getting pretty dark down here. Are any of you using any sort of light sources?
And we have light sources. I just haven't wanted to turn them on because that would kind of be like a beacon to us.
Yeah, after about 15 feet, it's pretty pitch dark down here.
I look at the rest of them. Do you want me to put a flashlight on, but have it pointed downward, or put a filter on it?
Give her a flashlight to the red shirt.
Very dangerous. You go first.
No. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna put a filter on the flashlight, and just have it so it and have it pointed downward so it's not flashing everywhere. It's just, giving us enough light to dimly see.
Okay.
Making shadow puppets.
Making sure I'm not flashing it out someplace, making sure it's pointed either downward or, at such an angle as not to flash out.
Okay. So once you make it down into here, the chamber appears to be very large. You tell me, are you just, how much looking around do you want to do right once you come into this very large room? Tell me what you want to. There does appear to be a little bit of light coming in here, not a lot, but there is some light. Are you also using your flashlights, or are you just relying on the natural light?
I think we should use a natural light. Our eyes should adjust.
Okay.
And that way we're not noticed. I'll turn the flashlight off, use the natural light, let our eyes adjust.
Okay. The chamber is extremely tall. You, with just the light that is in here, you can't tell how tall the chamber is. The a hard orange light seems to emanate from slimy fungi that liberally coat the walls. And then as your eyes adjust, they're drawn to a gleaming metal bullet about 75 feet high, which appears suspended on sturdy girders above a magma pit. Around this great bullet, cranes and platforms at various heights hold. You realize at this point also that you're not alone, that there are a number of people in this chamber. They haven't noticed that you've arrived yet, but they're on the girders. Seamus, you recognize that they're testing circuits, performing repairs, making spot welds. On the floor of the chamber, workers wearing dark headdresses and strange fish-like humanoids, some with extremely large mutated claws, scuttle about, going back and forth between a dark pool and the magma pit. On the opposite side of the huge bullet, a pool of seawater can be seen. Far to the rear stands an immense statue, at least 30 feet high. Strangely, only the back of the statue can be seen, as it appears to face away from the chamber. The entire scene is both breathtaking and horrifying in its scope, and I will want sanity rolls from everybody.
I was afraid of that. We got a fumble. Oh
my
God.
It had to happen. Now, didn't
Yeah.
it? Just didn't it have to happen?
So, fumble, you lose 6 points of sanity.
I actually passed the sanity roll.
Okay.
Simon, good job.
So
There's a
Seamus
first
is the
time
only
for everything.
Seamus is the only one who loses sanity, and he loses 6 points.
He's like, they're doing it all wrong. The engineering of this is absolutely like,
Atrocious.
yeah, exactly.
I need to speak to their supervisor.
It makes no sense at all. This can't be working. Insane engineering.
It's orc technology.
Orc
50K.
technology?
Yeah, 50K orc technology. No one can figure out how it works. It just does.
Oh, you know what I realized this week, the phone software we use to record incoming calls is called OrcWeb, literally spelt the way you'd think it would be.
Nice.
Run by orcs. No wonder it's a little strange.
So let me put some minis in here to represent what's going on.
That would help to know the numbers.
Yep.
Are we a little big by comparison to the scale, or am I wrong?
Yeah, we're probably a little big.
Yeah,
For the scale.
well.
Like,
But I
so
understand.
wait, the thing on the scaffolding, like, it's literally a giant bullet.
It appears to be a giant bullet-shaped rocket.
Bullet-shaped rocket.
I look at
Can't tell from this. Heading down or up?
Pointing up.
Okay.
What you would guess, what you as a player would know is the booster rockets are facing down into the magma.
Yeah, it's a time
That
for
don't
you.
seem very smart from an engineerical point of view.
This doesn't look good.
Damn.
So you've got 5 fishy dudes on the ground. You've got 5 fishy dudes. 5 fishy dudes up above. And the ones that are on the ground, so Seamus, because you've seen this once before, you would guess that they also seem to have, the ones on the ground seem to also have some sort of radiation burns of some sort, but it's affecting them very differently than it appeared to be for the ship's captain that you ran into. It looks like these creatures have instead mutated because of the radiation. The fishy dude deep ones that are up above, have human hands and are running welding equipment and putting in circuit boards and wires and things like that, whereas the ones on the ground definitely would not be capable of such.
Ooh, yuck.
So, if you are going to stay here for more than a minute watching, I'm going to need stealth rolls from you. Otherwise, you can either sneak back out, or I'll say that you can, you have a minute to plan an action before you're going to be noticed.
How high is it? How high is this rubble here?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Can you ping what you were asking about? Okay, so that is actually a big set of Seamus, this is like your like dream. It's just this big pile of mechanical and electrical equipment. Except that instead of being like stacked neatly on a workbench, it's just haphazardly thrown around in a big pile.
So how high does it stack up? Like above us?
No, it's like 2 feet high, but it's a big, large, round pile. Like
I,
6 feet around.
I point back up the stairs so we can talk.
Wait, so what is this? So there's like a trench or something around this whole
So
formation. I don't know, like it's
these
like a
are
little
the
island.
walls of the cave
That's the
cave.
walls of the
Oh,
cave.
it's the walls. Okay.
Yep.
I thought these were the walls.
This is a still pool of water. This is a bubbling pool of what you hope is water.
Magma and
This
some statue
here
over
is
there.
the statue that I had talked about.
All right. I gesture everybody to move
and
back
then
up the stairs.
And then there's a number of alcoves that come off of this room. Most of them have doors in front of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gesture to go up the stairs a bit. So we're gonna move back up the stairs,
Okay.
and then we're gonna talk there just in whispers. Well, obviously we want to knock out the rocket, but I don't see an easy way to go around without being noticed.
What would happen if we shoot the rocket?
Well, that's the whole problem. We don't know how well armored it is. I don't think we have any guns that can really do anything to it.
Explosives?
Yeah, but we have to get close enough to do it.
What's the distance?
What's
So
the distance
it
from the
is
stairs?
it
the
is about 30 feet away from the bottom of the stairs.
Do you want to try to push our way through, provide covering fire, and you toss or place a few explosives?
Yeah, the only thing is I'm wondering is, from the design, I saw this is basically probably chemical explosion based rocket, right? Which means it's got some fuel there. Is how big of a boom it will be and the impact it will have on the lava.
So here's as you kind of peek down again, I'll tell you a little bit more about well, okay, so that was what you could see without being noticed. If you would like a little bit more deeper look, one or more of you can make a stealth roll, and I'm happy to give you a little bit more information about what you see.
I'm willing to do it, but I don't know a whole lot about engineering. I'm thinking it's almost going to have to be Seamus. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, do you need to know engineering in order to get stuff out of the rocket?
I will say that you can probably explain a little bit of it back to Seamus. At least. So if Seamus does it, he will get the most information. If one of you wants to do it and then come back and relay what you see, you'll get slightly less information.
Because I'll be glad, because I know my stealth is halfway decent.
Well, I have binoculars ×5. If I go down there to maximize,
Yeah.
that'd help.
Okay, I will say with binoculars that you can do this without being seen. That you can do this from the shadow of the staircase.
Excellent.
Sweet.
Good call there, Seamus.
Just realized, wait a second. I have a device that lets me see far.
Okay. So here is, so you're going to get a whole bunch of information about the whole room. So first we're going to talk about some of the other things, and then we'll talk about the rocket. So that pile of parts and storage, it's a pile of tools, packing crates, raw material, and many cigar-shaped tanks studded with strange nozzles and harnesses.
At
Um,
$10, it says it's fuel or of some sort.
Several of the cultists that are working on the rocket wear these units on their backs.
Oh,
And they appear to be the welding devices that
Oh, fuel.
emit beams of scarlet light that sizzle and fuse metal surfaces. Um, and yeah, I
Alistair's
mean,
suicide vest theory may
you
not.
you guess that the fuel for what you've never seen a welding torch like this. You guess that the fuel that powers it is in those cylinders, but you don't
It's an
know.
educated guess
Yeah.
at best.
There are two pools in the chamber: the quiet pool and the bubbling pool. Um, the and that's you all you know is that the you know you definitely know that the quiet pool seems to be seawater. You don't know what's in the bubbling pool. You hope it's just seawater, but you don't really know. Um, and it seems like it might be a little bit more viscous than water, but you don't really know. Um,
Either way, I think it's best put on the list of stay away from.
um, you also uh, realize that as you're looking around, um, the you notice that some of the uh, some of the deep ones that are on the top working on the rocket seem to have this weird slimy thing on their heads. You don't know what that's all about. The rocket, the rocket's metal shines with a variety of oily colors never seen before by you. Um, there are also small, stylish Art Deco motifs worked into the hull. Um, the fin-like steering vanes of the strange craft are also somewhat fanciful. Um, the nose of the rocket is on the ground next to it, and it looks like they're getting ready to fit that onto the rocket. A dozen inch thick pipes uh, lead 10 feet from the bottom of the rocket into the magma pit. Their white hot glow is something like that of fluorescent bulbs, but of blinding intensity. Uh, all of the workers are wearing goggles to protect their eyes against this light. Um, I will let you make a weird science. You've got the weird science talent, so I'll let you make a um and some sort of engineering check with
Sure.
weird science in order to try to understand this. Okay. So at first you had no idea what this was. then like all of a sudden like your mind shifts and you remember the strange blueprints that you saw at Henson Manufacturing, and somehow you start putting together some of these weird things that were in a different a strange language, and it all suddenly crystallizes in your mind. The pipes have to be devices that are not from this world. They're conversion tubes that leach energy from the magma pit and store it ready for the moment that they will drive the rockets.
Yeah, this is physics, not as I know
um, there's also a dozen uh, humans that you didn't notice before. Um, they're pitiful looking human slaves that have these uh, weird um, very weird oily black skull caps on, and they're all dressed all in black clothes, which is why you didn't notice them at first. And they shamble from uh, the bubbling pool, carrying buckets full of this whatever disgusting viscous substance is in that pool, which they then plop into the magma pits and keep on going back and forth. And then uh, this guy here, who's larger than everyone else, um, actually, no, it should be this guy here. All right, so there's only four guys up on the things now. It's going to be this guy here. So this guy here in his robes, um, this guy is significantly larger than its companions, and he seems to be waving its arms around almost as if it was directing traffic, um, and is, gesturing vaguely between the bubbling pool and the magma pits. Um,
Uh,
and he's holding blobs of quivering gray slime in its clawed, webbed paws, and is gesturing uh, either towards the pool and then the magma pit, burbling, fishy incantations.
It's a trap.
in the time that we've been here, as do we understand anything that's being communicated by the people or the things in the cavern?
You would guess that. So the only thing that Seamus knows that these guys that are up on the scaffolding are prepping the rocket to put the nose cone on, and that they've got um, this weird alien welding gear. Um, this dude here seems to be directing the humans who are not pictured uh, in between the bubbling pit and the magma pits. And these other four guys on the ground are uh, making sure that the humans follow orders, um, and doing a few other like miscellaneous things. You would guess that they're the guards of this place, and that the four guys that are on the scaffold uh, are the are doing the actual like engineering work. what is your plan, guys?
I look at Seamus. Is there any way of possibly bringing it down without getting to the rocket? Maybe hitting the scaffolding or.
Well, sure. Like anything there, it's obviously a tall, weighty structure. It's designed, you know, clearly, I think that scaffolding is designed to fall off as it, elevates itself, right? So I'm willing to bet that it may not be able to stay upright on its own if so partial scaffolding was removed. But all depends on, like a tree, right? Cut it one direction, may fall, may not, if there's some support. So yeah, if we could take out probably the scaffolding around it, might get it to drop into the lava, and then it's toast. I would think.
How high up is the rocket itself from the liquid hot magma?
10 feet.
Okay, so it's not super high, but
Well, it's 10 feet above and it's 75 feet tall, right?
Yes.
And I think they're going to be the most busy on that rocket as they put that top cone on. That might be the time to sneak in. That's a delicate operation, putting that very nose cone in, isn't it?
surely all of them have to go up to the top, one on each ladder.
Well, also think of it this way: is they mess that up, that could easily cause, damage the scaffolding too, right? If they're trying to get into position.
What do you guys want to do? I think we obviously we need to do something to that rocket, but we should also have a plan. Maybe maybe some satchel charges at the rocket at the base to affect that, but also maybe a satchel charge in the electronics.
So at this point, one of the guys kind of jumps down off the scaffolding and comes over to this door here and disappears into this room.
Which room?
This room here.
Hmm.
Do we know why they need a rocket and why it has to be here?
You do not.
Well, maybe we just take off one of the scaffolds. That seems like the most straightforward way to mess up their plans. At the very least, it will delay things.
What time is it now?
Well, here's the question: if do you want me to make a roll, and was it engineering or mechanical repair, figuring out, the likelihood from my distance that it would need to be one or more of the scaffoldings taken out?
Sure, I will let you make. Either one of those will tell you that. So whichever one you get a better chance on.
Whoa.
Extreme success.
Whoa.
You believe that with your satchel charges that you'd need to take down 3. You also believe that if you could steal some of those welding devices, you could probably just cut away the 2 chains that are holding the rocket to the scaffolding up at the top of it. You also then notice that this guy comes back out and walks over here to where the nose cone is that he's readying, and he is carrying a very large, pretty big, hefty metal box, and he sets it down next to the nose cone, and he kind of gestures at the big fishy dude over here and steps back a little bit. at that point, the big fishy dude makes some more motions, and uh, two of the humans come over and open the box. Um, and there's a big glowing hunk of metal inside the box. One of the guys that opened it just falls to the ground, and so the fishy dude makes some more motions, and someone else comes over. The two of those humans pick up this big glowy metal thing. You can tell that it starts burning their flesh immediately when they start touching it. You don't understand why they're not screaming out in agony. They pick this thing up and they put it into the nose cone. By the time they're done, their hands are completely burned down to the bone. And after they put it in, both of them also fall to the ground.
I think I know what the hell they're doing. It's
Cat?
not just.
Filing just about every OSHA regulation.
All right, bring in the OSHA agents.
They are, for not that I have the context, but let's put it this way: it's clearly something radioactive. It's a rocket. It's not just a. It's not a. It's a bomb. It's a dispersal device. That glowy stuff, you send it up into the atmosphere. Boom. What do you think the effect is going to be on wherever it hits, or if it's hitting a ground target?
I have no idea.
Well, you saw what happened to those folks there. Think of it
Oh.
more agony, long, slow death.
Yeah, but that's only going to affect a short range. Maybe what? 40, 50 feet?
Depends. It goes up in the air, atmosphere, blows up. Think about it. Wide dispersal.
All right, so maybe a couple miles. I mean, that's wide dispersed.
But proof of concept.
Oh, yeah. It sounds dangerous. Who knows with this alien technology?
It's the North Korean rocket in 1924. All right.
Yeah, we can't let the rocket go up. That's basically either way.
What time is it now?
By now it's about 5 in the morning.
Okay, so it's still pretty early. How long we been here? Like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes?
You've been in this room for about 15 minutes.
How much more setup do you think they have to do?
Seamus, you would guess with your extreme engineering that the next step is for them to lift the nose cone onto the rocket and weld it into place, and you expect that they'll probably get that done within the hour. Maybe two if they take their time with it, but
yeah,
you would expect with a team this size that they'll have this done in no more than 2 hours.
I don't think they're very concerned about safety. As much as I'd like to hit that thing while it's down on the ground, they're really going to be watching that as it's being placed and welded. Everybody's going to be, because that's a key point. That might be the time to hit.
Well, rather than the rocket, since they got to put the nose cone on the rocket, maybe we should just blow up the crane. I mean, wouldn't they have a hard time putting the nose cone on top of this rocket without the crane?
Depends if they have a backup plan. Plus, that some of these guys have powers. Plus, we've all seen the creatures they use. They could have one of those creatures hold this thing onto the top.
So if 2 or 3 of them are now dead, how many creatures are left in the room?
Well, so it was humans that were dying. So
Yeah.
the number of creatures is still the same at 10 creatures.
The human cannon fodder is basically
Yeah.
dead, not the creatures. That's why I'm saying, even though it'd be great to hit that thing while it's on the ground, it might be optimal while they're all focusing on it being attached to the top. Because that's going to be the dangerous point, getting it up there and welding it. That might be our time to strike, if we have a chance at all.
Well, whatever we do, I think one of the things to keep in mind, guys, is general as much damage and mayhem as possible, and avoid the glowy rock as much as possible. You non-scientific types.
Well, if it's like any other rocket, right? What if we just shoot the fuel supply? Shouldn't it explode?
We're not real sure how it works.
Yeah,
if he's
so
right about
Seamus is
that
pretty sure
glowy
that
stuff,
that it's not using any sort of propellant that
yeah.
is known to man, that it's doing some sort of direct thermal transfer.
Yeah, plus I can tell you that regular rounds into a normal fuel tank don't necessarily combust. You need something like an incendiary round or tracer round before it may even start to be combustible under normal circumstances.
And we don't even know if the fuel in there is combustible.
Mm-hmm.
I know we have those shotgun shells that will do some extra damage, but I agree with you. I think those satchel charges are best bet. Maybe use the shotguns to get in there, catch them by surprise. Try to attach the satchel charges either onto the rocket or the 3 scaffolding and go that way. Or even toss it, onto the rocket. But we got to decide soon what we're going to. Well, we got some time. We got to decide what we're going to do, guys. I mean, the key point is when they're going to be lifting that cone and positioning it above the rocket. That's going to be the best time to hit, I think. Just before they put on top, because that way they're all focusing on trying to get on top of that rocket. It's going to be hovering above it.
Yeah, well, either way. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna go in guns blazing, stealth-wise, roll down some explosives. What's the plan?
I think we should go in. They're going to be focused on it, see if we can stealth it, get as close as possible, roll in some explosives while being ready to fire away. Maybe also place one of the charges deep in the electronics with a slow timer.
Wait, what electronics? On computer?
There's a whole bunch of components right here. If we put it amongst the junk there, and there's all types of stuff, there's stuff that probably has to go on here. Plus, there's some what might be the fuel tanks for the welding things. If those go off, that might cause some damage as well. But what do you guys think?
All right, whatever. Let's do it. We've been talking about it for a while.
I was hoping that I don't know. I mean, do you think if we hung out a little longer, they all going to remain in the cave, right? So the odds are not good. So I was just wondering because one guy went into the door, so clearly that's just some kind of storeroom or something. There's another door at the left side that we don't know about.
Yeah. But trying to get over there is going to be difficult with this many people over there.
Oh, I'm not saying we need to get over there. I'm just wondering if whether at any point some of them will leave the room.
Well, not while they're trying to put that nose cone on.
Well,
I
we
think,
don't know now, do we?
well, my feeling is they're not going to stop till they get ready. And we can keep on watching, but we need to have a plan of action, is what I'm saying. What do you want to do, guys? What do you think, Seamus?
Well, if we, I mean, so far that's all good. The explosives. The only thing is, again, with the electronics. Remember, there's those fuel tanks they're using for the welding. We have no clue on how explosive they could be or how fireball. Because remember, we do necessarily want to get our way out of there, so we definitely don't necessarily want to get that set off.
All right, so we
As I've
don't.
said, do we have to destroy either 3 of the scaffolding or cut the 2 chains? I'm willing to bet that any one of these actions is going to take some time on that. We can wait for when they're the most distracted, which is fine. But at some point, yeah, we're definitely going to have to start coming out there. I don't know if we want to try and get as far as we can, then sniper some of the leadership, and then take. There's a lot of these guys here that we can see.
Yeah.
We could probably take them. We don't see them carrying any weapons of any sort, do we?
The guys on the ground have giant claws.
I meant besides their.
And the guys that are on the scaffolding have these welding backpacks, which you imagine would be probably pretty efficient.
So the trick is for us not to get close.
But to put the satchel charges on, we're going to have to.
Well, what I meant is we try not to engage in melee with them, or if we try and take them on from a distance.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So shall we try to hit them when they are maneuvering the cone towards the rocket, when they've got the cone up high? What do you think, guys?
That's fine. I mean, like you said, they're probably going to be focused on that.
Yeah.
And then we just need to decide if we want to go after the scaffolds or the chains.
I think a couple people should be ready to go that way, and the rest provide cover fire. I think, George, you're probably one of the best with a rifle, right?
Yeah, that's what I. That's
So
what
you should
I all my points on.
Yeah, so you should be putting cover fire. Seamus, you definitely should be one of the people placing explosives.
Yeah.
What about the other guys? What do you think you guys should be doing? Providing cover fire or helping Seamus? And I'll do either one, cover fire or helping Seamus. What about you, CT? Carl?
I mean, whatever works fine. I mean, I don't really know what it means to do the demolitions.
All right.
I mean, is there a skill involved, or is it just like you got to get there?
I will say that he made the demolitions roll to create the stuff. So if you want a timed charge, then yes, that's going to be a demolition skill. If you're just making it go boom, then you can just put it there.
I mean, I don't have any demolition skill.
I say make it just go boom. What do you think, Seamus?
Well, if you just make it go boom, you're going to be in the blast radius of it.
I don't like that plan.
Well, you could have it with a short delay. You could have it set up for a short delay there, Seamus.
Yeah, that would be best.
So here's what I'll say. Seamus, if you can give me a hard demolitions roll right now, then you can set these up to be delayed, and then just someone has to put them in place.
I have to
Success.
spend
So you'd have to spend 10 luck to make that a
9 luck.
9 luck to make that a hard.
It's done.
Okay.
And to you with you.
So you now have 3 demolitions charges that are satchel charges that are on a. Tell me how long you want the delay to be.
So, guys, thinking how long do you think you guys go in and run out? Like, are we each putting one? Is that the plan, or is it going to be?
I say 3 of us put them on, and 2 of us are providing cover, and the rest of us are playing cover fire.
Okay. Okay, so we put so put it there, and then enough time plus a little for us to get clear, which would be how much? How long for us to cover that distance? The slowest individual.
I will say, I mean, it's only 30 feet, so I'll say that you can, all do that in one round, 10 seconds.
So 1 round to get there, 1 round to get back.
30-second fuses.
Sound about right. Because I mean, I want to set the charge to start. Then we all go. Then we head back. Seems to be should be the length of time, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to take that into consideration.
I'm ready when you are.
Plus, would there be any necessary time for us to do to lock on or set up on the attach?
I will say that it is 5 seconds to. I mean, but my understanding, you tell me differently, is that you're just dropping this at the foot of the scaffolding and hoping that it blows up the scaffold. If you would like to do
You don't think they're going to pick it up
else,
and just like chuck it into the lava?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was wondering, if there's any way that we can attach it to the scaffolding to make it a little harder to be dislodged, and that's why I was thinking of adding some time.
Sure. If you do you have like chains with you?
I'm more than willing to spend that 10 luck, even though this now becomes under 30, to have
Yeah,
all
roll.
the necessary components I might need.
I love that pulp talents.
All right, another 10. We should have everything necessary to lock and load, so to speak.
Okay, then you've got some chains and some padlocks that you can lock these things around the scaffolding. I'm going to say that it'll take you 1 round to do that. So it's 30 seconds to get in, chain it to the scaffold, and then get away, assuming no one fights you on the way there.
Right. So I'm thinking we do then let's do it for about a full minute. What do you say, guys?
Yep.
Give us some breathing room.
Yep. And now the other question is, who is? I know George has good firearms. Who else has good firearms? You do, but you should probably be one of the. Well, if you already set the charges, does it really matter who puts it on?
Fine, good.
I don't think we need the shots to be accurate. They're just not going to be charging on in there with shots going overhead. So I think just the distraction is fine.
I'll run in with one of the satchel charges. Because I figure Seamus and George will be firing off shotguns or rifles. That should be Carl and Bill and I taking care of the satchel charges.
So just FYI, the rules say an investigator can move the number of yards up to 5 times their move value in 1 round. I'm assuming that's all you're doing, though, right?
Yeah. So I'll say, and you're so. Yeah, so you're fine. That's more than enough. I think that the lowest person's move is 5.
Yeah,
I'm at 8.
Yeah. So you got plenty. I mean, it's 30 feet away, so.
So it's run round to get there.
Yep.
And put it there, and then 1 round to retreat, assuming nothing stops us.
1 round to
retreating.
get it there. 1 round to put it down and chain it up and lock it to the thing so that they can't just throw it in the lava. And then 1 round to get back to the staircase.
Okay, and so getting back to the staircase would mean exiting the map, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So, the one other thing, Seamus, I'm going to give you this as well since you got the extreme. 2 things are going to happen very quickly. So if you drop this thing into the magma, you understand how displacement works.
Hell yeah. That's again why part of my whole exit the fuck out of the place.
So there will be a bunch of magma that bubbles up onto the floor. You also would guess that now that warhead is armed, that's probably enough to set it off inside this chamber.
Again, yeah, I kind of was thinking that was going to happen.
Making sure that you understand that and have conveyed that to your compatriots.
Yes, I'm going. This is an incredibly dangerous circumstances, and not because of the ugly monsters.
Yeah, but if the warhead goes off, that's a TPK. But don't we also succeed in the mission?
Yes.
Technically, yes.
I'm just thinking that you might want to give yourselves more than the 30 seconds of time on those charges.
Yeah, I was thinking because there's no guarantee we're not going to be delayed either.
Wow, how about
all they have to do is grapple one of us,
right?
Or all of us.
Yeah, and as well, there's also the cut time. So
shall we do 5 minutes?
Well,
how long would it take us to get out of the volcano?
Well, how does that pulp weird talent work? If you have everything that you need, can you make a remote detonator?
It's small items under like $10 or something like that. So like flashlights or chains and padlocks or rope or things like that. It's not.
How long did it take us to get down here, and how fast, if we moved quickly, could we get back up out of here?
It's 200 feet, so if you ran like hell, you can probably get there, get out in 30 seconds. I mean, the thing is, you are going upstairs, so you can't, it's not just a 200-yard so you've got to go upstairs and not fall on your ass and ass over tea kettle down into the lava.
5 minutes then?
So, well, the only thing is I'm worried about they've got those cutters, right?
Well, we target the cutters first. We have George and you fire specifically at the cutters.
Well, remember, each one of them is wearing one.
Yeah, which is also another explosive. Possibly. So that's what I'm saying. So maybe 2 minutes. I mean, if it can take up, because here's the thing, right? It goes off and then we start. But I'm hoping we get 2 minutes, because remember, there's going to be a bit of time that goes off. Yes, the displacement happens, but then we'll probably have at least a little, very short window before that the lava reaches and sets off the other main explosives, right? So
Correct.
I
And it
mean, it's
takes
going
a
to be a
while for it to melt
chain.
through. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's going to be a balancing act. What can I tell you, right?
All
For
right.
for
So I guess
precisely.
it's a 2-minute delay now. 2 or 3.
I tell you what, we've been at this for 2 hours now. Why don't you think it over? Let's take a 10-minute break. Think it
Yeah.
over. Come up with the final plan, and then we'll enact it and see what happens. How about that?
Yeah, but again, if it's a TPK, we still save the world.
And I'm getting my cool guys don't look at explosions moment finally.
I want a slow walk with the explosion in the background,
I'm sorry. This is not.
which catches up to us and kills us.
All right. Think about it. Let's come back at 10 after 9 and we'll go from there.